Hello everyone. In the last class, I explained the classification of errors and when to use the suspense account. So in this class, I am going to explain two-sided errors and one-sided errors along with some examples. Before watching this class, please watch that classes first and proceed with this one. And I will provide the link in the description box. Okay. Now let's begin. First one in the two-sided errors. What does it mean? It means these errors affect two accounts but still maintain the double entry principle. It means these errors affect two accounts, means debit also, credit also, but still it maintains the double entry principle. It means what? They do not create an imbalance in the trial balance, means there is no mismatch in the trial balance. It means for here debit equals the credit. So since two accounts are affected, here what we have to do here, just we need to pass the journal entry to correct both the debit and credit. Both the debit and credit mistakes, okay, without needing a suspense account. Here in two-sided errors, we do not require a suspense account. Here what we have to do? Here just we need to pass the journal entry to correct both the debit and credit mistakes. And we do not require suspense account here. In two-sided errors, we do not require suspense account. Okay. See here, see the examples here. First one, errors of complete omission. Error of complete omission. See, purchase of rupees 12,000 from Ramesh was completely omitted from the books. What they are telling? Purchase of rupees 12,000 from Ramesh, it was completely omitted from the books. It means what? It is not recorded at all. It means it is a two-sided error. Means it do not create an imbalance in the trial balance because this transaction is not recorded at all. What we have to do then? Just here we need to pass the journal entry. That is only the rectification entry here. So what is the rectification entry here? See. The rectification entry is here. See, the purchase of rupees 12,000 from Ramesh was completely omitted from the books. Here rectification entry, just we need to pass the journal entry here. That is purchase account debtor to Ramesh account. Rupees 12,000. And write down the narration, that is being purchase previously omitted, now recorded. This is the narration. What is the narration? Being purchase previously omitted, but now that is recorded. So this is the rectification entry in the case of error of complete omission, means the transaction is not recorded at all. Okay, I hope this is clear to you all. Now we will see the next example for two-sided errors. For two-sided errors. One minute, yes. See, error of commission. Error of commission. It means what? Wrong account but same class. Wrong account but same class. See the example. Payment of rupees 8,000 for furniture. It was wrongly debited to office equipment account. Okay. See here, we make the payment of rupees 8,000 for what? For furniture. But what happens? It was wrongly debited to office equipment account. Now what is the rectification entry here? How we have to solve this transaction? See the steps. First, what you have to do is, first write down the wrong entry here. Wrong entry is, according to them, wrong entry is office equipment or office building account debtor to cash account, because here instead of furniture account they wrongly debited to office equipment account. Okay, so the wrong entry is office equipment or office building account debtor to cash account, that is rupees 8,000. This is the wrong entry. Okay, now we have to write down the correct entry. Correct entry. See here. What is the correct entry here? We have to write down furniture account. Fine. So furniture account debtor to cash account. This is the correct entry. And it is a two-sided error. Why? Because here there is an error in debit and credit. Okay, means this two-sided error, it do not imbalance the trial balance, and we do not require a suspense account here. Okay, so see here, first wrong entry is office equipment account debtor to cash account, and correct entry is furniture account debtor to cash account. Now what is the rectification entry? Before that, we have to reverse the wrong entry. Okay, reverse the wrong entry. See, carefully listen. Reverse the wrong entry means we have to reverse the wrong entry. That is, here the wrong entry is office equipment account debtor to cash account. Here just reverse this wrong entry. So cash account debtor to office equipment account. Office equipment account. Fine. Now we have to write down the rectification entry. Okay, see here. So now what is the rectification entry then? So the rectification entry is, see here, reverse the wrong entry, that is cash account debtor to office equipment account. Now what is the next step? Next step is we have to compare correct entry and reverse the wrong entry. Okay, first what we have to do? First we have to write down the wrong entry. As per the given transaction, the payment of rupees 8,000 for furniture, it was wrongly debited to office equipment account. So the wrong entry is office equipment account debtor to cash account. After that, we need to write down the correct entry, furniture account debtor to cash account. See, these all are rough work. Okay, in the exam means we have to write down the rectification entry. Before that, we have to do these rough works. Okay, and next one, so reverse the wrong entry, next step. So wrong entry is this one. We need to reverse this entry, cash account debtor to office equipment account. Now we have to compare the correct entry and reverse the wrong entry. See here we need to cancel cash account and here cash account. In the correct entry, cash account is credited. In the wrong entry, cash account is debited. Just cancel it and write down the remaining accounts. That is the rectification entry. Okay, I hope this point is clear to you all. So the remaining account is furniture account. That is our rectification entry. Okay, account debtor to office equipment account. That is rupees 8,000. That is rupees 8,000. So this is the rectification entry. Now what is the narration? Being furniture purchase wrongly recorded in office equipment account, now corrected or now rectified. Okay, this is the narration. Okay, now we will see one more example of two-sided error. Okay, all these are two-sided errors. Here we do not require suspense account. Now see the next example, error of principal, that is capital versus revenue. Means the transaction that is recorded as capital instead of revenue, or the transaction that is recorded as revenue instead of capital. Okay, like this transactions will come. This is also two-sided error, means affects both the accounts. See here, rupees 20,000 that is spent on repairs of machinery wrongly debited to the machinery account. It means what here? Rupees 20,000 spent on repairs of machinery. Here, revenue expenditure that is wrongly capitalized. What we have to do? We need to correct it. Here, rupees 20,000 spent on repairs of machinery wrongly debited to the machinery account. Means what? Here what we have to do? We have to debit the repairs account here. Okay, so this is the meaning of this transaction. So rupees 20,000 spent on repairs of machinery wrongly debited to the machinery account. So we have to follow these steps. Again, in two-sided error, follow these steps only. Okay, so what is the first step? Write down the wrong entry. Write down the wrong entry. Okay, so the wrong entry is machinery account. What we have to do? Means they debited to the machinery account instead of repairs account. Okay, so machinery account debtor to cash account. This is the wrong entry. And what is the correct entry? We need to debit the repairs because rupees 20,000 spent on repairs of machinery. Okay, so repairs account debtor to cash account, that is rupees 20,000. Now reverse the wrong entry. Reverse the wrong entry. What is our wrong entry? Machinery account debtor to cash account. So reverse the wrong entry, that is cash account debtor to machinery account. Now compare the reverse the wrong entry and correct entry. Here what we have to cancel? Here again we need to cancel the cash account. Here in the correct entry cash account is credited, and in the reverse the wrong entry here cash account is debited. And the remaining accounts, they are repairs and machinery. So this is the rectification entry. So our rectification entry for this transaction is repairs account debtor to machinery account. We need to credit the machinery. We need to cancel the machinery account and we need to debit the repairs account. Okay, this is the meaning of this transaction. Okay, till here we have to do the rough work till here, and in the solution we have to write down this entry, that is repairs account debtor to machinery account. Okay, I hope this example is clear to you all. Now we will move to the next example, that is error of reversal. See the example, rupees 5,000 received from a debtor was wrongly recorded as payment to him. Rupees 5,000 that is received from a debtor, it was wrongly recorded as payment to him. Actually what happens here? We receive the payment of rupees 5,000 from a debtor, but here wrongly recorded, we make a payment. We make a payment to him. Okay, so what is our here wrong entry is debtors received from a debtor but wrongly recorded as payment to him. Means we need to debit the debtor here. That is the wrong entry. Debtor account debit to cash account. Next, correct entry. Correct entry is rupees 5,000 received from a debtor. So, correct entry is cash account debtor to debtor's account. Here, just we need to reverse the wrong entry. Okay, that is cash account reverse the wrong entry. That is only our rectification entry. So that is cash account debtor to debtors account. To debtors account. Okay, so cash account debtor to debtors account. See the example here, received paid, received payment to him, that is the reversal. So here our rectification entry is just we need to reverse the wrong entry, that is cash account debtor to debtors account. Fine. Okay, so this is about two side errors. Now we will move to the next one, that is one-sided error. One-sided error. What does it mean? It means these errors affect only one side of the ledger. It means what? It means only a single account is debited or credited incorrectly. Here single account is debited or credited incorrectly. Since double entry accounting, it requires both debit and credit for every transaction. But one-sided error, it creates an imbalance in the trial balance. Okay, so one-sided error, it means these errors affect only one side of the ledger and means only a single account is debited or credited incorrectly. Means the account that is debited or credited, that is not correct, that is not recorded properly, or that is incorrect. Okay, as per double entry accounting principle, that requires both a debit and credit for every transaction. But here one-sided error, it creates an imbalance in the trial balance. But two-sided error, that will not create imbalance in the trial balance. So here one-sided error, it creates imbalance in the trial balance. Here we need to open a suspense account, means we need to open a temporary suspense account. After rectifying the errors, we need to close the suspense account. Okay, clear? Now we will see the examples here. Error of posting. See here, rent of rupees 3000, it was posted to the rent account as rupees 30,000. See here, by reading the transaction only you will get to understand whether it is a one-sided or two-sided error. Rent of rupees 3000, actual rent was rupees 3000, it was posted to the rent account as rupees 30,000, but actual rent is rupees 3000, rupees 3000. So here what is the wrong entry? Wrong entry is rent account debtor to cash account, but here see here, wrong entry, rent account debtor to cash account. But here rent account, what happens? They entered as rupees 30,000, but cash account is correct. They have not mentioned about anything about cash. Only rent account is incorrect here. Means it is a one-sided error. What is our correct entry? Our correct entry is rent account debtor to cash account. Journal entry is same, but amounts are different here. So as per correct entry, our amounts should be rupees 3000. 3000. So here rent account, it is affected, means we need to open a suspense account here. It means what here? The rent account, it was over debited by rupees 27,000. How? 30,000 minus 3,000. So rent account here, it is over debited by rupees 27,000. Instead of rupees 3,000, it is over debited by rupees 27,000. So here only one account that is affected. So it is a one-sided error. So the rent account, it was debited too much, that is rupees 30,000 instead of rupees 3,000. So what we have to do? We reduce the excess, that is rupees 27,000 by crediting the rent account. By crediting the rent account, we need to reduce the excess. We need to reduce the excess because our rent is only rupees 3000. But here over debited by rupees 30,000. That's why we need to reduce the excess of rupees 27,000 by crediting the rent account. Remember this. So what is our rectification entry? Suspense account debtor, we need to credit the rent account to rent account. So our rectification entry is suspense account debtor to rent account, that is rupees 27,000. That is rupees, here we have to write down the difference, remember. Okay, so what is the narration? Being excess rent amount wrongly debited, now corrected. Being excess rent amount wrongly debited, now corrected. Okay, this is the narration. Now we will see the next example. Here, error of casting. It means totaling mistakes in the ledger. Here see the example. The total of the purchase book was rupees 50,000. Total of purchase book, it was rupees 50,000, but it was carry forward as rupees 55,000. It means what? It means overstated of rupees 5,000. Actual total of purchase book was rupees 50,000, but it was carry forward as rupees 55,000. So the purchase account here, it was overstated by rupees 5,000. Only purchase account. Means it is a one-sided error. We need to open a suspense account. Okay. Here the purchase account, it was overstated by rupees 5,000. Means 55,000 minus 5,000. Actual total of the purchase book rupees 50,000. But here carried forward as rupees 55,000. Means purchase account, it was overstated by rupees 5,000 due to the incorrect total. So here only one account that is affected. So it is a one-sided error. To correct it, what we have to do? To correct it? We need to reduce the purchase account by rupees 5,000. Okay. See here also, in the first example also, rent account that is overstated, that is rupees over or over debited, that is rupees 30,000. Means we need to reduce it. Here also purchase book, it was overstated. We need to reduce it. How? We need to reduce it by using the suspense account. So the journal entry or the rectification entry is here suspense account debtor to purchase account, that is rupees 5,000. We need to write down the difference. So being excess total of purchase book overstated by rupees 5,000. So we need to credit the purchase account to reduce it. So remember one trick here. In case of overstate, here purchase account in the normal journal entry we will debit. But in overstate, means in the one-sided error, we need to credit. Just exactly the opposite. Only in the case of overstate. But in the case of understate, we need to debit the purchase account. Okay. Only in the case of overstate, if purchase account is debited, in normally we will debit the purchase account. Okay, but in the case of overstate, just we have to do exactly the opposite. Means we need to credit the purchase account and debit the suspense account, that is rupees 5,000. Fine. So here see one more example. The total of the purchase book for Jan was rupees 45,000, but it was mistakenly recorded as rupees 40,000. Means 5,000 less. Here understated. Means what we have to do? What is the rectification entry? What I said. In the case of overstate, we have to credit the purchase account means generally we will debit the purchase account. Just it is the exactly opposite, means if we will debit the purchase account, we have to credit the purchase account. But in the case of understate, there is no such rules. Means here we have to debit the purchase account. So here the rectification entry is in the case of understate or undercast, that is purchase account debtor to suspense account, that is rupees 5,000. Being undercasting of purchase book corrected or rectified. Okay, so I hope this undercast and overcast is clear to you all. See the next example. Error of posting on the wrong side. Error of posting on the wrong side. Here, see the example. A payment of rupees 7,000 to a supplier was wrongly debited to his account instead of being credited. Payment of rupees 7,000 to a supplier, it was wrongly debited to his account. To supplier account. His account means supplier account. It means one-sided error. Okay, instead of being credited. So, what is the wrong entry here? Sorry. See, wrong entry is, according to them, they wrongly debited to his account, means supplier account debtor to cash account, that is rupees 7,000. This is the wrong entry according to the transaction. Now, what is the correct entry here? What is the correct entry? Instead of being credited, means supplier account should have been credited. Supplier account should have been credited. So, our rectification entries, see, this is very simple. Rectification entry. Here what we have to do? Supplier account is credited, means we need to debit the suspense account. Fine. So, suspense account debtor to supplier account, that is rupees 7,000. Okay. So, this is about one-sided and two-sided errors. Okay, I hope this concept is clear to you all. If you have any doubts, please leave a comment. Thank you.